It's another day to be great. I'm Charbel Milan, and this is a time shared. On today's episode, we have the long-awaited return of a time shared with no better than a time shared veteran, Agent Dooley, as we discuss digital products and being able to help others with digital products. Hope you guys enjoy. And just like every other time, we are back. My name's Charbel Milan. Today we got
Agent Dooley.
And this is a time shared. Look, man, it's been a minute. For everybody tuning in right now, I gotta say thank you so much for the patience. Currently been doing a lot these last 8 to 9 months, and we're glad to be back. It's 2022, and I thought, you know what, man, there's no better way than to start the year off than to come back and have a time shared veteran hit the platform and just get some conversation going as the new year starts. There's so much to talk about. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. And it's crazy. 2022, man. I think we started this in 2020, or when we started our last series we did. So time is flying, man. But everything is good. I'd say better than usual. So I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. For anybody that's been following me on the Instagram, definitely been pursuing a specific subject these last 9 to 10 months. And, it's been great, man. It's been nice really getting out there and really being able to help so many people who are not only eager to do something, but also to be able to just inspire others to get out and chase what could be their thing. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the plate has been full, and I produce these episodes. So anyone that's produced podcast episodes knows it takes a bunch of hours, but that's still not an excuse. So I'm glad we're back today, man. But sure. I know since we've spoke, you've been on what? You've been on twice individually, and then a bunch with the Wi-Fi Lit series.
Yeah.
And then I think we even did like an office tour at one point in time. But long story short, man, since you really touched foot on the platform and up until now even, I know a lot's changed. And what I mean by that is last time you were really heavily involved in real estate. Both times we spoke to you on the podcast, you had 2 active flips going on, one earlier on than one later. During and in between those flips, you were wholesaling properties. But I know now you've kind of shifted gears over the last while. So just fill us in, man. Tell us how you've been. Tell us kind of what your angle is now and how you've been these last 8 to 9 months.
Yeah, it's been a minute for sure, man. But yeah, so I'm almost, I would say exclusively at the moment, I'm not even really pursuing real estate, So I'll always be a real estate investor at heart. I'll always, be in real estate, but I'm not actively on a monthly basis putting marketing dollars toward acquiring more deals. I finished my last flip, and I was in the middle of my last flip last time we did the Wi-Fi Lit episode. And, even back then I was saying it was very stressful with COVID, with our contractor screwing us over with a lot of stuff going wrong. That was our first time we actually raised funds from investors as well. We're kind of in the middle of some stuff, and it was actually going downhill, but we actually got that project finished. We actually got our fridge stolen. We had to it was a bunch of back-to-back hits. We actually got that one sold. Investors paid out. Everything ended up fine. But that deal has stressed me out so much, and I really just took a step back and was like, man, it stressed me out so much, and I wasn't even, if I divide how much I made versus the amount of time I spent, it wasn't even worth it versus what I was making online, doing digital marketing, digital products, consulting, and stuff like that. So at the moment, I pretty much stepped back from that, and I'm more just pursuing and doubling down on what I'm great at, which is personal branding, content strategies, content marketing, and selling stuff online, So that's basically what I'm doing full time now. Obviously, I still have a bunch of courses that are selling. And then now what I've done is I've actually started a consulting business where I bring people on that want to get into the e-learning, e-course wave, and we're consulting them with what type of content to produce, and then our team actually sets them up and creates a digital product for them. So, I have a client that, launched a real estate and an Airbnb course and a rental property program. I have someone that's launched a wholesaling program, someone that launched a credit education program. So I'm more focusing on the digital space for sure. One, because that's more my area of expertise, and 2, because I generally enjoy the hands-off approach and business model more. So that's basically where I'm at now.
Damn, man. That's a lot to unpack. So,
yeah.
So obviously, other than things that directly were associated with COVID-19, we're on the other side now, thank God. But other than, the obvious things like, supply chain shortages, all that kind of stuff when you're trying to flip a house, what were some of the main things that you were really like, you know what, I really want to push heavier on the digital side? Like, was it the fact that you were kind of doing a lot and yeah, it was making money, but it wasn't making money as easily or as, I guess you could say, as quote unquote, as, what's the word that I want to use?
Well, like making money online? Or...
Yeah, like did you feel like when you were flipping, because I've heard a lot of people that run the bird strategy talk about that. It's like, yeah, you're doing it, you're flipping properties, it's great. But you're always, out on a limb. You owe money. You got payments.
You're doing something.
Supplies.
You have a lot of debt.
Things always end up costing more than they were supposed to when you start. Like, what were some of the things for you specifically to where you were like, you know what? After this deal goes through, I don't want to touch real estate for a second, both in the wholesaling side and in the fix and flip side, which you were a part of.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a double whammy, which is a pretty shitty time in my life, low key, because why I was actually wholesaling at the moment, which I still love wholesaling, and I don't say I like the business model personally, the calling and all that stuff, but it's very lucrative, and I would always push some people towards it because it's, again, very lucrative, and you can change your life with it. But, a double whammy was when me and my partner were working on this flip deal, we had so much stress that we didn't have time to put into the wholesaling business as well, which is really what we ran inside this office that we're inside now. And, that kind of fell and was like a casualty of that as well. So that was more just a mutual decision of us like, hey, we're making money, but we're not making enough money. We're both not as dedicated as we should or could be. Let's just go do our own thing, which we agreed upon. And then with the flips, it was just so hands-on, man. With digital products, online products, like there's no delivery, there's no inventory, bro. Like it's just a lot simpler. Like we had stuff where like we got the floors done, but one of the floors was an inch above the other flooring, so we had to pay another guy 2 bands to come in and
the little stuff,
and saw
man.
it down, and then the foundation was cracked where our gas line was. So we had to peel all the concrete. You know what I'm saying? It's so much. Don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing on real estate at all. But for me personally, let's say you're in a flip for 3 months, which is great. That means you flip in 60 days, sell in 30 days. And let's say you make $30,000. You think that's good, right?
Just to clarify, we're not talking about cosmetic flips. We're talking about full on.
Yeah, but let's say a cosmetic flip. Even for 90 days, you finish it, cool, and you make $30,000 profit. Like that's pretty good.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah, but that's $10K a month if you break it down, and it's kind of a lot of work for $10K a month. Which for some people, $10K a month is a lot, and for me, it is a lot. But if I can make even that same amount of money, which I do, or more, with an online business, not only is it more profitable because the margins are tighter, but I'm able to do it from home and in kind of like my own space and in my own realm. So
and at your own pace.
Yeah, I don't have to go out and put a security, camera on my stuff because our freaking fridge, it's a lot more.
So you got this fridge you've mentioned that twice. Tell us about the fridge, man.
Our fridge got stolen, man. We went and we literally found the perfect fridge. So what we did a hack. We instead of just buying our stuff from like Home Depot, which is like super taxed, we go to liquidators. We go around town to liquidators and find fridges that were either perfect or they were dinged up on the back that's already going to be towards the wall, so you never see it. So we can get it for like half off. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hack. Go to liquidators in your area. So we found a fridge and we literally just came back one day and it was just gone. You know what I'm saying? Our fridge is just gone. No break and entry, like nothing. Like our fridge is just gone. Like not even marks. Like they did it strategically. So like just simple stuff like that no one talks about. I don't know if it was an inside job from our contractors. I don't know if our contractors left the door open. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that, which again, is that something that we could have prevented? Yes. So some of these issues were definitely we brought it upon ourselves. But what I don't like is mistakes in real estate are expensive. Mistakes in the online field are usually not as expensive. And I went down the wrong fight. And you can survive them more.
Sheesh, man.
Anyone in real estate would tell you, man, you can literally go broke in a bad deal. So again, not talking on real estate at all. It was just for me personally and my lifestyle. I'm not the type of guy that wants to be the big CEO walking around with the clipboard. You're doing this. It's cool to walk on property. It's sexy. You're there. People are painting stuff. You got a big team. I'd rather make the same bread just online, chilling in my pajamas. Some people, they want to be out in the field doing their thing. For me personally, I don't need that anymore. I just want to make money as easily as possible and with as less stress as possible.
Yeah, man. The crazy part is I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. it's just then the question becomes at that point, well, do I have a digital product to offer?
Yeah.
Do I have something of value? Am I doing something in the physical world that I can monetize digitally? And that's a whole different, channel we can go down in a second. But a lot of people are thinking that at this point in time. And like, yeah, we could just sit here and put it on COVID for forever. COVID. But it even without COVID, it was happening inevitably.
Yeah.
Everything's been going online. I mean, let's be real, man. Other than going to the barbershop, I don't really pull cash. So it's just like, it's already gone online. We're just kind of in a delay, in my opinion. Like the times that we talk about, like, man, in 30 years, don't you think? I feel like a lot of that's here. We just don't.
It's here.
We don't realize it.
People don't want to accept it.
Yeah, man, your car drove us here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain things are just getting out of hand. But what do you think that means? Like, where do you think we're at in a point in, like, existence? Like, do you think that you being in real estate, at least you're in control? You can be like, well, we just got out of that deal. Profit was, not as good as we wanted, but we profited. We added to, the track record, the portfolio, but now I just want to chill out on digital products. What would you say for someone listening that feels that same way about a job or a career or like school or any type of apprenticeship, something where they're still in that early stage, but they also want to do something in the digital space? Because I know you do a lot of consulting around this subject. So what would somebody listening to this right now, what would be the initial thing they should start to look at to see if they even have all the things in place to dive into the digital market?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's just so many ways to get into it.
What do you see from a lot of, people, like new people you get on calls with?
And that's funny you ask it, because that's what I really started with. I started with like people that are like beginner entrepreneurs. They're trying to leave their 9 to 5, yada, yada, yada. But now I'm more working with people that are already kind of either entrepreneurs or they have a 9 to 5 just for the hell of it. People that are already kind of, top, 10, 20, 30% earners or whatnot, already doing pretty well. And it actually is easier to work with them because they already have a foundation, right? So what I found when I was talking to people that were like just starting out was that they couldn't get out of their own head to even like get it started. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like thinking you never had to have a professional camera and crazy lighting and the best background in the world, like and a logo. You know what I'm saying? They were thinking about all this different stuff that didn't really matter. For me, like you have to put an offer out there that is even possible for someone to purchase. If you don't have anything out there, you're not going to get paid. So what I saw was the first thing people always say, like, well, what am I going to teach? You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything. I don't. What am I going to tell? How am I going to teach someone? You know what I'm saying? I'm just in a 9 to 5. I just work or whatever. How am I going to teach someone to make a lot of money when I don't make a lot of money, right? And that is a valid thing. And the only thing to sell, digital products aren't the only thing to sell in terms of like courses and programs that you created. I have an affiliate of mine that sells one of my programs that she actually makes like $2 to $3K a month just being a 50-50 affiliate. So a lot of times you can sell a product that's not even yours, but the thing is, it's building the community and building the online presence.
Just the concept.
Yeah. You don't even have to be the mastermind behind the product. You just have to have an audience or some type of traffic to an offer. So I know some people that have the audience, but they don't have the product. And some people that have the product and don't have the audience. You know what I'm saying? So let's say someone that has an audience that may be an influencer with 100K, but they don't she's just a fitness model. She doesn't have a program. So what I'll do is, hey, I'm gonna give you an affiliate link to my program, and you just post it on your story. And if you get 50 people to buy at $100, that's $5,000. We split it $2,500 each. There's some people that have the product and don't have the audience. So hey, I have a great product where I teach you how to trade stocks, but I only have 10 followers, and that's when they reach out to someone that has the audience, etc. And there's some people that have neither. They don't have an audience. They don't have a product. So what they do is they find someone that has a product, maybe me, you, somebody else that has a product already, and then they don't have the audience, so they're just literally run ads to a ClickFunnels. So now they don't have the product or the audience, but they know how to acquire both. They're gonna make less money because they're paying for ad spend and because they're using a product that's not theirs. But there's ways to make money. You just have to see where you fit in, where you can put your value in.
Yeah, I mean that last example, that person is really just trying to mitigate having skin in the game.
Yeah,
so.
and you can make a lot of money being a middleman. You don't have to be the CEO or the head honcho behind all this stuff. Sometimes you just have to find your spot in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Take a cut, and then you're good to go. Some people, they want to start like in the best scenario ever, but sometimes you have to work your way up to that.
Man, I gotta say, man, it's nice to be back, man.
It is. I thought it was gonna be like a 3-hour long freaking podcast, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, dude, this office is just, I don't know, man. I mean, I know for me personally, this office has been really important to me.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in this office, a lot of growing, and it's been a blessing to be here. But then to be back in here and just get back on track and just start putting episodes out and really start having the conversations we need to have. It's kind of therapeutic.
Really, that's what I say. We're just recording a therapy session. Really, that's basically what it is.
And then we're sharing it.
Yeah, that's basically what it is for me. So I'm like, damn, like that, I didn't even know I felt that way until I put it behind the microphone. So
yeah, right.
That's what I love about these.
Hey man, microphone and a coffee, and I'm here as long as you want me. But so I get where you're coming from. You brought up a lot of angles. You really glanced over a lot of things, and one of those things was you don't have to even have a product. You don't have to have a following. You don't have to have neither. You just, at the end of the day, you got to be willing to put in the work, to network, move around, organize. But how about let's narrow it down, or excuse me, let's broaden it out, right? What about if we're not even talking about a product?
Yeah.
What about if we're not even talking about a following, right? Bro, there's people that are making money on the internet. And so, like, man, like that one kid, he took a picture of himself every day for like a year or something.
Yeah, and sold the NFTs.
Dude, if that was my kid, man, I'd be so happy. I'd be like, what?
That's like... The thing is, things don't even have to even make sense anymore.
Yeah, bro. And then, you got stuff like OnlyFans. People are just making money for having supporters for whatever content they're putting out.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Like, it's just, there's so many ways to make money on the internet. There's people YouTubing. There's people who have programs. There's people who are coaching. There's people who do affiliate. Like, people are doing Amazon, e-commerce. There's people still drop shipping. There's people who are putting videos of rain on YouTube.
And literally like hour-long videos. And since the monetization is based off watch time a lot of times, putting an hour-long video, like they're actually getting paid pretty good off that.
Because people put them and fall asleep.
Yeah.
I've been that person. But what I'm trying to say basically is, man, like there's crypto, there's NFTs, there's DeFi, there's so much going on. And I know the average person, like, let me turn myself down a little. There's so much going on. I know the average person is like, kind of doesn't know what to do, man. They're like, well, which direction do I go? Like, I get that a lot in my space that, I deal with. People are like, well, like, I don't know which direction to go, and I guide them. But in terms of the digital marketing space and the digital products and whatnot, what do you think is the easiest thing someone can just hop on into? Or do you think it's good to touch around on everything? Because people, man, they get lost in crypto. They get lost in NFTs. They get lost in e-commerce. They get lost in, I believe in the power of one, personally. Yeah. So what do you think somebody should do who's at that point where they're like, I know I want to get involved. I know I want to have something. I want to have a personal brand. I want to have my own product, my own, ability to provide value digitally in whatever form, right? What do you think they should do? Dabble around, test around, or do you think they should really try to find something and hammer at it? Because every day, man, things are changing. Like, I don't know, bro. Things move faster than you think.
Yeah, now we got the whole metaverse thing, which like I hadn't even really researched yet. Like, it's a whole nother world that's gonna be $1 billion industry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to your question, I feel like bouncing around doesn't really do any good for you. It makes people feel good because they start something and it's like, oh, I tried it, but it didn't work. I tried it, but sometimes people are better. They're okay because they feel good. But if you're not doing good, who really gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes they do things just for like to pat themselves in the back, but they didn't actually produce any results. So I'm about results. So I feel like a lot of times people have to, first off, it starts with your mind, bro. As cliche as it sounds, like you have to analyze, what am I looking for? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Because if I'm saying, yo, I want to quit my job and I want to make an income that can take care of my bills. Let's say your bills are $2,500 a month. Like, for example, I'm not going to say get into crypto. To me, crypto is just volatile stocks. To me, stocks is not making money to pay your bills. You put it in there and you let it sit. Like, crypto is not active income unless you're day trading.
What about e-commerce?
E-commerce.
Well, I mean, that's a broad term. Yeah. What about like, product like William Rivera e-commerce?
Yeah,
like
me,
Amazon.
I think Amazon is like one of the most like accessible things ever.
I know you dabbled around on it.
Personally, I dabbled around. Yeah, and I made some bread. I didn't do it perfectly, so I lost a lot of profit with like fees and refunds and stuff like that, or over thinking my supply was better than it was. Because I had more orders than my supplier could fulfill.
Ooh.
So I learned an important thing. Find your supplier first, and then find a good product within that supplier. Because you can have the best damn product ever, but if your supplier can't consistently produce that for you, you're going to run into some trouble. And you might get banned off the damn platform. So I like the Amazon thing because it's very paid, especially Amazon FBA. Things that take more money usually are going to be a higher chance of success because it's less saturated. Because most people...
Hold the mic out a little. Yeah.
Bad. So some people like... everyone's going to drop shipping because it's like no money down. It's easy. You don't need to really have any skills or whatever.
But drop shipping's like banned now, bro. Like, well, not the concept, but
it's harder to do it because people know the barrier to entry was so low that people were just scamming people. There was too many sites that were just going up, selling 100 products
Digital
and never
dashing.
shipping it out. Yeah. So I like the Amazon play because it's kind of open to everyone. You know, you don't have to have your own product. You don't have to know marketing. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you're just tapping into a powerhouse like Amazon, and you're saying, hey, I'm going to plug in 2K. I'm going to get out 3,500, stuff like that. So you might just have to, obviously product research, what I hear is the hardest part. But if all you have to do is spend 10 hours a day looking for a profitable product that can change your life, that's something that you can do. It's this hustle that you put into, But where I think stuff is going on in a longer term play is personal branding. I think being someone that has an audience that is loyal to them is very important because you can use it to monetize it in hundreds of ways. But for someone that's looking to make money the next month to pay their bills, personal branding is a long-term play. It might take a year before you can even get to the point where you can sell anything, So some people, again, they're not willing to do that year-long play that'll pay them $200K their first year, but they'll do something that'll pay them $3K a month, So sometimes it just depends on your situation.
We were talking about that earlier, actually. We were talking about, I'm actually glad we had that conversation because now I'm remembering to bring it up. We were talking about the concept of the same situation, but two different outcomes, and then those outcomes are determined by where you are, maybe where you are in your life, but more so where you are in your business. Was what we were talking about, or personal development, whatever it is. And it was basically like the type of analogy where it's like, well, do I want to make money today but make less, or would I rather make more money later, but it's like not only is it later, but it's not 100% in the hand. And it's like, well, for somebody who is at a different level in their business, they might decide that, the risk factor actually comes from just trying to bring the money in as fast as possible. We got to let things drag out. Or, the other person might be like, we're trying to get things in now and just close deals, properties, whatever the subject is, get the money in the hand. You know what? I'll take this job if they're paying me cheaper instead of the other job that might call me back in 2 weeks that's paying more because I need a job now. Whatever the situation is. And it's interesting because that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's what time value of money is. And that's basically what opportunity cost is. Like, what was the next best thing? So what I'm trying to say with that is just kind of tying that, especially for myself, man, especially since I've been recording podcast episodes and really interviewing, and I've really just been off the mic, I've been diving heavily into digital products, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I've also, even since before we've been hopping on the mic, I've also been diving into, physical spaces and, manifesting and creating physical opportunities, physical progression and success, and comparing the two similar to yours, where yours was the flipping real estate digital products. I think that it's definitely good to have multiple streams, but digital is just so much more attractive now.
It's just more.
And it's not even the fact that, you don't have to be, geographically bound to an area to make money. It's more about what you were talking about, that you start building up a personal brand. You start building up a community of people that are not only listening and want to hear what you have to say, but they're applying it. They're getting results. They're changing their lives. And it's like, gets to a point where it's like, hey, we can talk about things on paper. We can be logistical, but it gets to a point where there's some pathos involved. There's emotion. People's lives are being affected. And changed, and it's a totally different thing. So I know you deal with a lot of that. You have a lot of clients that come to you and they're like, hey man, I have this or that, I don't got anything, and I'm willing to pay you for your time because I need the value. I need to be up to speed immediately. And then they go off and they change their lives, they change their business, they change their personal dynamic. So not only for someone who's trying to dive into the digital space and, digital products, or really just understanding the digital age altogether, metaverse and whatnot, but just really, man, from the perspective of somebody who's coaching and mentoring people. What do you think's the next? What do you think's the next phase? Like, all right, you pick something that you want to get involved in, something digital. You decide, okay, I also want to have a personal brand wrapped around this. Where do you go from there? Like, my bad for the super long dialogue, but that's, if you've been watching the channel, that's what we do.
Just go off on tangents.
But really, like, where's the next thing? Because it's easy, man. It's easy to come here, sit in the office. We got the coffee and digital products, and you gotta do something e-commerce, Amazon. But then it's like when someone's really doing it, it's a totally different thing. So for someone who's really doing it, I want to hear what you have to say. You're working with people who are actually out here doing things. Like, what have you seen has really been holding people back? What would you share with somebody right now?
So your question was for someone that wants to make money with digital products, right?
Bro, I'm passing the baton, man. You can run as fast as you want in any direction, whatever you want.
I'm trying to make sure I understand the question. It was a very long dialogue. So you're saying for someone that's looking to start digital products, right? What advice would I give them to actually start making money doing, or the next step in terms of making money with digital products? And are we talking about like info? Cause I feel like there's a lot of digital products.
No. I'm talking about from somebody who does consulting on building personal brands, building digital products. What are you seeing? Like, what are you telling these people, without giving too much away? Like, what is the sauce? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, what are people missing? What do you constantly find like is consistent with businesses, personal brands that aren't taking off, that aren't thriving, that aren't making money? What are you seeing out in the field? What's the data?
Yeah, definitely. Number one is content, bro.
Talk to us, doctor.
Content is literally currency, bro. Like, it really is. It's basically currency, bro. Like,
say that one more time. I interrupted you. My bad.
Content is currency, and content is getting more and more valuable and being seen as more valuable. And that's why companies now, I'm basically going the agency route now, because I have clients that they wanted me to do copywriting for them, so I'll hire that out. And now people are wanting me to post content on their behalf because they know how important content is, that they're willing to actually pay someone to consistently create and post content for them that matches their brand colors, their logos, and stuff like that. Because a lot of clients that I work with, they have a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of time. But they know that posting more content will lead to another income source for them. So what I'm seeing is people don't have the brand. They don't have the brand because they're not posting content. People are not putting themselves out there. I don't know what to post. I don't want to do these dancey TikToks. I don't know what an IG reel is. I don't know what I would post. I don't have a logo, all that stuff. I'm like, bro, just post. I had one client that actually, my latest client, name is Portia. Literally, I told her, like, and it's not even, when you think of content, you're thinking like crazy videos and all this stuff. I said, hey, some of my best pieces of content are just tweets that I post, because I've taken a thought leader approach where I want people to actually hear about the things that I say on a day-to-day, or the things that I feel, the things that I think, right? And so that's been some of my best pieces of content. And so I literally told her, hey, take a concept that you're really knowledgeable in and turn it into a tweet carousel, meaning like have like 10 tweets and put into a carousel post on IG, and just spit game. Just spit game to them. No crazy stuff. We'll create a logo for you, put it in the bottom corner, and just post it and just see what happens, right? And she had like maybe 5,000 followers, right? So she's not super famous. She booked like, and this is like after not posting for like 2 months, and she got 4 what she calls strategy calls, or kind of like consultation calls, for $200 each off that one post that she posted on Twitter. She repurposed it on Instagram, and then her Instagram automatically posts to her Facebook as well. So she has DMs coming in from that one piece of content that it's like, oh, what is content? What is this? And I told her, yo, just post a tweet. Basically, just talking about something that you're experienced in. And the thing is, people may see your page, know who she is, but unless you tell people, hey, I'm really good at this, I can teach you how to do this, you can't blame them for not wanting to pay you or not knowing that you do a certain thing. So a lot of this stuff is just letting people know what you do and just documenting stuff that you already do on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'm having to get them in the content creator headspace. They're overthinking it. I'm not, whatever. I don't know how to dance. I don't know. I'm not going to do this lip syncing stuff. Sometimes it's as simple as just posting content that's going to let people know that you're an authority figure in your specific niche and staying on that niche. So when people look at your content, they know exactly what you do and who you are.
You know, you're right, man, because a lot of people would say, well, you know, I don't want to pay for a consultation call. Screw Dooley. I don't want to pay for a consultation call, right?
Yeah.
But she paid for a consultation call. She got the information she needed, and then the first thing she implemented, she already made her money back and profited.
Yeah, so this is one of
and
my...
those are strategy calls. She didn't even sell them on a product. Those are just to hop on.
Yeah, she didn't even have... We're actually working on getting her course up. I had a call with her yesterday, getting her course and launching her course, which is going to be on basically wholesaling land. So she wholesales specifically land and dirt from people that inherit, you know, like lots of land and stuff like that. So yeah, so she's just one of my clients that I consult with for like 30 to 45 days. So she paid like, you know, it's like multiple 4 figures or whatever, you know, so she hasn't like quote unquote made her money back already. But to be able to just post one piece of content and then see how much attention and opportunities it gave her, it opened her mind. And the thing is, I always tell people this. I'm not saying that, hey, you want to buy consulting because people just know so much more than you. It's just like personal training, dude. I always use the same example. Personal training is $1 million, billion-dollar corporation or business model, but people know how to go to the gym. People know, you know, lift weights, but sometimes you're paying for the accountability. You're paying for someone to push you. You're paying for someone to constantly be in your ear telling you what you need to know and what you don't need to know. You know, so sometimes you're not always paying for, oh, they're going to tell me something that I would have never heard ever. But sometimes you need to pay, like Will says, when you pay attention. So sometimes you need to pay someone and have them tell you something for it to click in your head and for you to actually take action on it. And if that action that you took as a result of paying that person leads to you making quadruple what you paid for it, then it's worth it every single time.
Right.
So sometimes you have to manipulate your brain into working for your benefit, whether that be, I'm going to pay this person because I know that my money is going to hold me accountable. Or I'm going to pay this person because I know they know more than me. Or I'm going to pay this person because I know that they're going to be able to cut in half the amount of time it's going to take me to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes even just cutting down that learning curve is worth it. Let's say that it might have taken me 6 months to hit my first 10K month by myself, but I paid someone $3K and I hit it in my 3rd month. So now those 3 months from between I was going to make my first 10K month, that's an extra 30 bands. So sometimes just saving time is saving money. So that's something I've been learning about the consulting business. Like, okay, what type of value am I specifically giving to these people? And I feel like a lot of time just being an accountability partner to them and cutting down their learning curve is enough value for someone that already has money to want to pay you for your service. So it's not always about saving people money. It's about saving them time, because to some people, time and money are the same thing.
Wow. Damn, dude. So how are you feeling? What do you got for me? What do you want to know? Yeah, that's right. What do you want to know? Because we haven't sat down for.
I have a lot of questions, bro. So before we were doing this, bro, like you weren't even doing, like we weren't even like in on what you were doing, right? So you literally like jumped into the digital product space. So I want to hear from your point of view, from someone that jumped into the space, that's seeing me, Will, Lex, Pat do this and make money doing this on a consistent basis. What was your like outside view of people who sell digital products, how it works, and then you jumping into it yourself? How did it differ from how you saw it from the outside view, if anything?
Okay, well, I talked a lot about this on the Hustle Up podcast, but we're here at a time shared, so I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to go, honestly, kind of before this podcast, one of the reasons this podcast came to be.
Yeah.
And basically, man, it was first semester, sophomore year of college. Freshman year had just flopped for me. I lost Hope Scholarship. I was stressed out, paying a lot of money. And if I didn't pass the classes, then I wasn't going to get into the business program the next year. And I was battling a personal addiction. So much was going on in my life, ruined some relationships. And it was an overall really low point in my life. So at this point, that's about a little over 3 years ago. And for me, I was always involved with entrepreneurial ventures, paths and whatnot. But for me, I had never gone out on my own. I loved having a group. I loved having everybody has a role. We all come together. We succeed. And, we go from there. But unfortunately, man, I guess it was just something I needed to learn early in life. But that just wasn't working for me. Anytime I was having different partners in different industries, in different situations, sometimes I was trying to move too fast. Sometimes they were trying to move too fast. Sometimes we weren't on the same page. Sometimes, some people would be on the same page. Some of us wouldn't be. And it was a lot of extra stuff,
It's
man.
not a noise when you're trying to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah. And so I kind of just committed to myself that I wanted to venture out on my own. And I wanted to do things for myself. I wanted to have my own businesses, my own ventures, 100% funded by me, 100% risk accountability to me, everything, decision making, production, everything, whether it's the podcast, whatever it is. We'll get to that in a sec. So one thing, I had a lot of influences in my life for real estate. And one thing I was told by somebody, a good friend of mine, someone I value a lot, is that, you'll never actually get rich unless you can figure out how to collect rent on anything.
Yeah.
Renting this office, renting this equipment, they rent a cellular service theoretically,
literally.
whatever it is. Like, you just got to have something to rent, a bike, a property, right? And that idea was so in my head. It was so in my head. And I was really interested to figure out, I want to get involved with rent. I wanted to get involved with real estate, but I didn't have real estate money. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the ability to, get a loan and whatnot. I'm a first semester sophomore in college. I just lost Hope scholarship. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm still out here I was working at detail cleaning cars at Honda. It was either that or landscaping. I forget. But long story short, I was just like, I knew I had a dream, man. I had this drive. And so, let's see. So then I kind of stumbled into the entire home foreclosure, skip tracing type of thing. And what my plan to do was is target people, because I always understood in business you need leverage for anything to go through. For you to make money, you need leverage for there to be a reason for you to make money. So my thing was to target people who are getting foreclosed and basically come in, and I wanted to start a short-term rental company. I wanted to basically come in and manage their properties as short-term rentals, whether that's on Airbnb, Vrbo, whether that's even just doing smaller, rental contracts for travel nurses, for acting crews, whatever it was. Even if it was to re-rent the place to someone else at a premium and collect the difference. I wanted to collect rent. And so that was a really interesting concept to me. Long story short, I end up going to LA for personal reasons, meet a mentor. I spend some money. I get up to speed, man. People who pay attention. And so I understood that, I was about to go into a business venture that a lot of people weren't pursuing at the time. I hadn't heard anything about it. And kind of where I was at in my life wasn't matching up with that frequency. Like the things I was doing, the people I was spending the most of my time around, the conversations I was having, it wasn't matching that frequency that I was trying to touch and continue thriving in. And so I decided that I was just going to go out alone, man. I was just going to disconnect from everybody and just kind of block myself out. This was 2019. And just go out on my own and, focus on myself and growing this business that I was envisioning. And so that's when I came up with the idea to start this podcast, because I was like, man, if I'm a very social person, so I'll go insane being alone 24/7, even if I'm making money.
Yeah.
I need to talk to people, bro. So I was like, well, what if I could talk to people about things I was interested in? And I don't even know these people that well. So it really doesn't matter. You can really go deep on certain things, because it's like, we're not going to talk. When's the next time we're going to have this conversation?
Yeah.
But at the same time, in my daily life, I'm still alone, just grinding in the dark.
Yeah.
And so I started the podcast, man. And so I start the podcast, and I kind of, at the same time, I'm dedicating to my venture. And my biggest thing is I've gotten screwed over a lot in the past by a lot of people. And one of the reasons that I realized that I was getting screwed over is because I was doing too much talking. That there's no need, doing too much talking. And so I was like, I'm going to grind in the dark. And instead of sharing my ideas this time, I'm going to share my results. I'm going to go hard
like
for
that.
however long I need until I get to a point where I'm ready to share my results. And then I'm not going to say, hey, Dooley, I'm thinking to go grab coffee. I'm going to say, Dooley, why don't you try this coffee? It tastes great. Because I was tired of sharing my ideas with the people that mattered to me the most. People in my family, people, my friends, people, in my personal life. And then just hearing responses I didn't want to hear. Like, I don't know, man. Do you think it'll work? But what about the risks, though? Dude, that's a lot of money, man. But no one's doing that. And sometimes when you know what you need to do, when you know what's calling you, like, like, this is my thing, bro. Like, this is, like, what I'm meant to do. You don't care to tell anybody. Because when you start making money, bro, and you're seeing your account go up and your ideas that were in your head are manifested into reality and they're working and they're exponentially growing, you don't give a shit for anybody to know. It doesn't make me more money. It doesn't progress my experience. I don't care, right? So that's where my mindset was, because I was kind of in a stubborn place. I was like, man, I just want to grow my podcast, grow my business, and I don't care what anybody knows about me. I'm growing my network. I'm happy. And then I keep growing my business in the dark, my parents knew I had a business. My girlfriend knew I had a business, but they didn't know what. And I respect them for not invading my privacy because, so I was doing the podcast, meeting a lot of great people. And then, I stumbled into meeting people like yourself, people like Will, people like Lex. And over the course of doing the podcast for a couple years, we all became really good friends doing the series. And man, every time we would meet, all you guys would talk about is digital products, and like just so many dinners, bro, so many drinks, so many lunches, so many pre-podcast convos, post-podcast convos, on the trip, on so many different times, bro. I'm just like thinking to myself, man, no one's talking about what I'm doing right now. Nobody's doing Airbnb rental arbitrage. I want to have a program about this. I'm feeling drawn to teach people, but I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel like I was at that level yet. So it was something that was on my mind for a while, but I didn't think I was at that level. Long story short, bro, coming up on the beginning of 2021, we're coming out of COVID. What was it? Oh, yeah. One of my best friends was progressively, his health was declining due to stage 4 cancer. And, things weren't working. The treatments weren't working. Things were declining, man. And mid-April, late April, I lost him. And when I lost him, it was the second friend in a year. Two best friends in a year that passed unexpectedly. And it kind of made me step back and evaluate how I even felt about my life, how I even felt about what I was doing. Yeah. And one of those things was my business. I was happy with where I was in my business because all this time I thought I needed to be at this high ass level to where I'd feel qualified to teach people, but I wasn't realizing that the fact that I'm even doing what I'm doing is so revolutionary for its time, and I'm succeeding at such a high level in that field that it didn't matter. And that's when Will opened my eyes to the fact that, like, bro, when you know what you're talking about, it doesn't matter. You are qualified. You're automatically, people assume you as the expert. Yeah. And especially when you go to get people results. So then that's when I went public with the business and launched the program, the Airbnb Standard Academy. And man, ever since then, I kind of took a break from this podcast, which I apologized for earlier, but it has been a beautiful journey, man. We're almost at 400 students now. That's crazy. It's been 9 months, almost, it hasn't even been a year. And honestly, man, I just got to say, I'm really blessed to have people like you in my life. I'm blessed to have people like Will in my life, people like Lex, people like Pat, for not only introducing me to digital products, but just for really just exposing me to just so many things that allowed me to get up to speed quicker. Like you said, cut the time in half. You see what I mean?
That's all we talk about. So to be able to like just be absorbed in that industry and just hear from so many different perspectives, I feel like that's beneficial for people that are like entering that, and people to say, hey, there's gonna be a trap around that door, watch out, or watch out for that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's cool that we're kind of like able to indoctrinate you in that and just you like flourish with it and take it to the moon.
Right. And then now I'm able to do that for people in the world of Airbnb. I'm able to help people get involved and create an extra stream of income that's paying them for months and years to come, as long as they maintain it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, now I was able to take what you guys did for me and pass that on to other people. I was educated and I was able to do something and, you know, change my life with a specific subject. And now I can do that for other people. And it's beautiful, bro, because I think that's what someone who's listening to this needs to realize, is that there are people out there that they don't even realize it, but they're waiting for what you have to offer to get them to the next level. And so it's almost selfish if you don't create a product around it. It's selfish, bro. It really is. Bro, having the ability to help somebody and not doing so is the biggest disservice to the world. And it's crazy because a lot of people were in my face. They had that imposter syndrome. They felt underqualified. They felt, yo, who's gonna listen to me? I don't have a personal brand. And since I started, bro, I've almost like 10x'd my social media following. I've lost a lot of people from following me, and I'm glad those people were around for a different phase of Charbel, and now it's all personal brand. We're here pushing a movement, and the people that don't want to be there for that, I wish them the best, man. But you know, that's the beautiful part about being able to follow people and unfollow people. You can tune into what you want, and it's great to see a lot of people tuning in, a lot of good conversations being had, and a lot of lives being changed. And that's all thanks to digital products. And a year ago, I didn't have a digital product, so I guess I'm a real life example as to what you're talking about, man. If there's someone listening to this right now that's on the edge, you got to just go. You got to just pull the trigger,
really
man.
Nothing to lose. And that's the thing too. Like creating a digital product, like what do you need? Like some videos and some resources and
I mean, screw the logistics, man. Let's talk about the things you really need. You need to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one's gonna believe in you.
Yeah, if you're not even speaking with authority, like people are. A lot of times, it's not about what you say; it's how you say it. Like just being. Sometimes people just need that same information that was in that YouTube video, but they need it in like a coaching platform or indoctrinated in a different way.
And like, it sounds corny. Believe in yourself, but no, literally.
Yeah, I mean the confidence. Like I always say, confidence has brought me way further than being humble has, and of course, you have to practice both. But a lot of money is lost when people sleep on themselves, bro. They like, again, I even suffer from imposter syndrome as well, bro. Like, you know, everyone does, but you can't let it get in the way of creating what you have to create.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like you were saying, it's literally selfish. You're saying, hey, I have a little bit of anxiety about being on camera, so I'm not going to create a project or a movement that might literally change hundreds or thousands of lives because I don't want to get over this little fear of what I have. And again, people are not scared of losing. Like people are scared of losing in the public eye.
But you know what I think it is, man. And before I go into this rant, because I went live here and I ranted on this. This is the work of Myron Golden. All right, this is not my work, but damn, did he hit the head on the nail? Did he hit the nail on the head, bro? People are not allowing themselves to be bad long enough to get good. What do I mean by that? Literally. They're not allowing themselves to stay in the game and be bad at the game long enough to figure out all the ways to be bad, figure out all the ways that won't work, to figure out the way that does work. And once you do, you
then that's all that's left.
But people don't, man. It's what you said. They start something and drop it. They start something and drop it. My second piece of advice, bro, would be to anyone that you just gotta keep going. No matter what, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Stay in the game.
I really think that's like
hasn't even been a year for me, man.
Yeah, and again, it's really not about what you're doing, bro. It's about the person. Because someone that's him or her, like when you say I'm him, like anything I do is gonna be gold. All this shit works, bro. Amazon works, drop shipping works, digital products works, real estate works, Airbnb works, Turo works, all that works.
Podcasting, man.
But will you work? That's the biggest thing. All this stuff you're hearing about, saturated, unsaturated, whatever, it works. The question is, are you going to work? And that's the thing, bro. You can literally do anything and make it achievable and achieve and accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, but you have to go through the period of being ass, bro. Like, and that's why I love playing basketball. It's kind of symbolic to me because it's like I always look at basketball players. I'm like, man, like being able to put this ball into this hoop from like 30 feet out, like that's pretty fucking impressive, bro. And they do it at a consistent basis, like 80% Like that's not because you're just born. You know what I'm saying? That's not like any type of skill that they were born with. Like that's just repetition. Like, that's just, okay, my muscles are now actively and accurately being able to put the ball where my mind wants it to go. And that's all just repetition. Even myself, bro, I can go to the free throw line now and just make shots just because I've been doing it for so long. You don't even have to be great at it. All you just got to do is do it often. I used to play baseball. My first swing was terrible. My 1000th was better. I didn't get better. I just got more consistent at doing the same thing.
But, bro, you hit on a topic that's deep and you brushed over it, man. Do you work? Does the person work? That's deep, bro.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people aren't ready to be.
They want to blame everything else but themselves.
Yeah, but, man, that's deep, man. There's a lot of people that aren't ready to answer that question alone with themselves. Do I work? Do I have what it takes? And the reality is, bro, your answer to that question determines that question. If you think you have what it takes, then you do. If you don't think you do, then you don't.
And that's so facts. Like, when someone, and I know it's beautiful because I know someone's going to hear this. And when we say, but do you work? Like, as soon as they hear that sentence from the video, they're going to have an unconscious thought in their brain of, yes, I do, I deserve it, or no, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this subconscious, they're not going to be able to stop it, but their brain is going to tell them how they really feel about themselves. And if they're the type that's like, you know, I don't deserve the success, or like, I'm not the type of person that puts in the type of work, you know, they most likely aren't, or they're not going to have the confidence to be that type of person, or become that type of person. It's like what you said, like if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can. It sounds so cliche, but the thing is, I always hate people use cliches to write off stuff. A cliche literally means that a bunch of respected people think highly about this concept.
Bro, it's
That's
cliche.
What a cliche is.
It's cliche because it's uncomfortable. It's the type of questions that no one wants to answer because they require you to become vulnerable. And people don't like becoming vulnerable. So they like to just dismiss the fact, it's cliche, man. Like,
yeah,
who cares?
they want to try to find this crazy secret that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
so we tell them, so you come to a guy, hey, so what's the secret to success? Hard work, network, and consistency. That's too easy. No, like, what really is it? Like, how do I search for that? Because they don't want to just believe that, okay, he gave me the keys, now I can go work it. It's, this can't be right. Let me think that it's super complicated so I have an excuse to put it off for another 30 days.
And here's another thing that I actually want to make a piece of content about when we get done with this podcast and drop on Instagram, just to share this concept with someone who might need to hear it. And that concept is, bro, that, like, people are really stuck on the fact that you need money to make money. And you do. You need money to make money. And then, you know, there's the conversation. It doesn't have to be your money. And we get it, right? You need money to make money. It doesn't have to be your money. You can use credit cards, business funding, whatever the hell. But a lot of people don't understand that even that doesn't matter. What matters, like, bro, there is hundreds, if not thousands, of banks and financial institutions who are literally looking for the right reasons to let people borrow money. Why? Because they want to collect interest. Why? Because money doesn't make money. Ideas make money. So they are sitting around waiting for people to come up with good ideas and then borrow the money to implement those ideas so that they can make a margin on top of that. Because without that person borrowing the money and doing something with it, their money means nothing. So people don't understand that, bro. People are like, well, right now I'm getting my bread up and then I'm gonna find something that I want to do. Right now I gotta pay off some debt and then I'm gonna start this business. No, bro. Right now what you need to do is think. You need to sit alone and really think, and not think like, yeah, that's a good idea, I'm gonna do it. Go down the rabbit hole. Imagine like you started the idea. All right, cool. We just opened the account. All right, now we're doing our calls. All right, now we're reading the script. All right, now we're getting funding. All right, we just got approved. All right, what does the software even look like? How does it even look like when we go to pay for this product? How do we, like, people don't go down the rabbit hole of the logistics, man. Like, man, like, it's very hard for me because that's all I had was an idea. I didn't have the funding. I didn't have the support. I didn't have the track record. I didn't have the information or the knowledge that other people were succeeding in it. I was early adopter and I just had the idea, bro. And I was like, damn, like, this is a really good idea. And not only is it a really good idea, but it's one of those ideas that I feel really unique about, you know, not necessarily conceptualizing, but ending up at. Like,
Yeah.
this is a nice idea I've come to the conclusion of through this process I've been chasing with real estate rental properties. And it was the type of thing where it was almost like, man, if I don't do this, I'll regret it till I die. Like, if I don't hop on this will be one of those, like, damn, if only.
Yeah, and
You
you
know?
don't want to live with those what ifs. And again, like at the end of the day, we're so young, bro. We can bounce back from like anything.
Yeah, but what do you think about that, bro?
Think about
The ideas, man. That's all that matters.
I mean,
you can get funding later,
that's
bro.
what everything is. Everything is an idea. You know what I'm saying? Content is ideas. You're just taking your ideas and taking them into pictures and videos and strategies to get people to either like you or to learn from you or to be entertained or educated. All this stuff starts from an idea. And that's why I say we don't get paid to do, we get paid to think. So half your job is to create environments where you can think freely. Because that's why some of my best, like vacationing was literally like before COVID and all that was like literally part of my like business strategy. Because when I'm out there and I'm just free, I was thinking of shit that I couldn't think when I was like under the constant pressure of just grinding and working and producing. You know, and people underestimate thinking because it's not tangible. People only want to take into account things that are tangible, like, okay, cool, or measurable. Like, how much money did I make? How many hours did I spend? How much do I get paid per hour? You know what I'm saying? But they don't take, they take for granted the things of thinking deeply, being self-aware, studying, because those things aren't things that you can measure and put on a chalkboard. So I feel like people need to be able to be okay with the intangibles. People want to work per hour because they want to know no matter what I do, if I do X, Y, and Z for 60 minutes, I'm going to make $17. But they don't want to sit behind their laptop and create a website because they may take them 5 hours and they produce no income. It might take them 10 hours and they make $100,000 in a year. So it's like you got to be okay kind of taking that risk of what I'm doing. It may never come to fruition at all, but I'm willing to take that risk because the least I can do is make $0. But the sky is the fucking limit. I think that people aren't willing to take a risk and a bet on themselves. They only want to do shit that is guaranteed because it's comfortable. They don't want to do shit. They don't want to work for free. They don't want to whatever. But sometimes you got to work for free for 100 hours so you can get paid 100 hours worth of time in 1 hour, maybe a year later. But you got to put that work in the forefront when it's not guaranteed because this shit's not guaranteed. And stuff that is guaranteed, it's not really lucrative,
Bro, I've seen so many people, I don't even want to say not succeed, but they don't get to the level they want to get to because all they focus on is the hacks. They think it's a hack, bro.
Yeah.
They think that like, all right, I'm going to say this here, I'm going to do this here, I'm going to go there, and then we're going to buy this. And then, like, bro, there comes a time where you have to do something. You have to take a risk. You have to do an irreversible decision. Like in Airbnb, bro, there comes a time where you need to sign a lease.
Yeah.
Like what? Like you gotta sign a lease, G.
There's no hack for that shit.
Yeah, there's no hack. There's no you gotta sign a lease. And that's where you lose a lot of people.
Yeah, that's real shit. Like you gotta take the risk. Like that's the thing. That's why people love those top 3 ways to do this, 5 hacks to do this. I even tell my clients post that content because people love the ideas of how can I succeed quicker and with less risk than every other fucking person on earth.
Yeah.
What makes you so arrogant to think that you just deserve success with less risk than everybody else that's done it before you?
Yeah, man. Like people literally are like hear all the stories like I went broke here and I did this and they're like, what, dude, that guy's story is crazy, but it won't be me.
Yeah,
no way. That's not gonna.
But sometimes instead of saying that, you gotta say, man, I'm gonna go through that shit, but I'm gonna handle it better than he did. That's what you should be thinking. So when people come to me and ask questions like, how long does the course take? So how long till I make money? Or those
don't
questions,
buy it.
Those questions kind of piss me off, bro.
Yeah,
Not
don't
because
buy
it's
it.
a wrong question to ask, but because how are you going into something asking, what's the least amount that I can do to see minor success? It should be, hey, how can I do this correctly the first time, and how can I do this in the most bulletproof fashion? Not how can I do it the quickest, but how can I spend the most money and create the most systems to make this actually consistently profitable? But people don't want to do that. Like you said, they want these hacks, these tips and tricks. And of course, you want some shortcuts every now and then. But there's beauty in not taking fucking shortcuts and building it out and actually, running it as if it's not something that had a shortcut. Like, just do it from A to Z. Because once you do it, that's the beautiful thing. Once you do it, I'm sure you even see it now. You've been doing it for less than a year, but I'm sure there's some stuff you did on month 1 that you're not doing on month 9. You're already automating and perfecting the stuff that you fucked up on month 1. And now it gets easier and more consistent because you've already gone through the trouble.
Bro, if somebody tells me how long is it gonna take me to make my money back for the program or whatever the hell, or what if I can, or what, bro, if that's the case, don't buy it.
Yeah, if you're that stressed, just no.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, we're not desperate out here, bro. I want results for my students. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So don't buy it. You're not ready. Go do something else. Wait. Think about it.
Yeah.
Chill out. Maybe this isn't for you.
It's like they want you to like convince them. It's like, I'm not gonna convince you. This is what it is. If you're ready for it, let's go. If not, I'm not gonna.
Like, I know how great the product is. I know the results it gets people, but I don't know where you're at in your life. Like, bro, I'm the type of person, man, where I ask a lot of people who I get on calls with, and they're really interested about getting started on Airbnb, and they want mentorship and all this stuff. I ask them, is this right for you? Do you want to do this? And a lot of people are shocked by that question, man, because it's like, bro, I'm not. I don't got hours sitting around, man. Like, I like working with people who are already hungry to get results. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, all the students I have that are getting results and excelling pretty compoundly, like, bro, like people, once they get the groove, they're just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Bro, these are the type of people that I'm starting to realize that would have done it anyway. I just got them there quicker. Saved them a year.
That's all it is.
This type of person, the type of person they are, the way they digest material, the dedication they have, they would have got the result anyway. I just got them there sooner.
That's facts.
So whenever people are asking all those kind of questions, man, it's like, hey, maybe you're not ready for this. Maybe you're not ready to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're not. No one's ever saying that. Everyone's like, you need to start a business and you need to go ahead and have multiple streams of income. Maybe not everybody's ready for that. Maybe you need to do some personal work. And then when you're ready to take that step and be comfortable being uncomfortable,
circle back. And that's the thing. That's an important. People are so hungry just to make money off their programs that they're not actually asking their clients seeing if it's even a fit for them. Right. They're just willing to take in anyone and everyone. But for me personally, I don't like doing that because it's a headache. Like, for me, just refund. Like, you're good. Like, I'm not going to be here and you see thousands of people eating every single day and then me spend hours just chopping it back and forth with you because it's something wrong. Hey, here's your money back. Try something else. Sorry, it didn't work. Because the thing is, like you said, your course is usually never going to transform someone. All it's going to do is expedite someone who already has that mindset. If someone's a lazy fuck, it doesn't matter how good your program is, they're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So we're not here trying to transform lazy people. We're here trying to elevate people that are already focused and already want to direct their energy towards something. So it's not your responsibility to produce results. It's your responsibility to create something that allows people to get results. But there's some people that would never, they'll buy 15 courses and never see success. There'd be someone that would have bought your course, my course, his course, her course, and would have succeeded with any one of them. That's why I push the brand, because let's say we both have Airbnb courses. Ours might be the exact same, but someone may like your brand a lot more, and that's what's bringing people to your product.
Right.
You know, and so a lot of times it's not about your product, it's about the brand behind the product. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from Charbel. I want to learn from Dooley. And that's why I say put your money and your time in the brand, because once you have a personal brand, you can launch anything because people are invested in you, in anything that you're going to produce.
Yeah, like for example, bro, you drive a Tesla, right?
Correct.
It's a good car.
It is.
It's an electric vehicle, right?
It's an EV.
So if you didn't want an electric vehicle, right,
yeah,
and you didn't buy it, that doesn't change the fact that Teslas are amazing. It just might not have been for you. Maybe you weren't ready for an electric car.
Yeah, maybe.
You ever think about that?
Maybe I don't have an electric charger.
Maybe you can't afford an electric car.
Yeah, maybe I don't have a charger.
Maybe you don't
at
have a charger.
Complex.
Maybe your family makes some money off oil and screw the electric.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the hell are we talking about? No, but really, bro, honestly, at the end of the day, I really think that, like, I heard this somewhere else and I'm sharing it, but I think every single person has something special in them, bro. It's just whether or not they choose to unlock that, whether they choose to get uncomfortable and get out there and find out who they are, what they have to offer. I don't think that's a special person, that person's talented. No, I think every single person and that sounds crazy to some people, but I really do think this. I'm not generalizing. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm being honest. I really think every single person in this world is special in one way, shape, or form, and they have certain talents in one way, shape, or form that could honestly change their entire life. It's whether or not you decide to get uncomfortable and find that, unlock that.
And especially with like we're talking about content, putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's very like it's scary. You know what I'm saying? There's judgment, there's mean people, there's trolls, there's haters.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, the worst I get hated on by a stranger, the best I get paid. And those odds for me, I like them very much. You know, but it takes a lot to be vulnerable, you know, in that space. You know, but
for me, man, I think it's because we're going to die. I don't care about being vulnerable. I don't care about getting hate. I'm going to die. I'm going to die, bro. There's going to be a time where I die. It's over. No one's going to be with me. I'm going to be in a box getting lowered into the ground. It's done.
6 people,
And people don't think about that. That they're constantly thinking about what about what this person thinks? What about this person thinks? It doesn't matter. You're going to die.
Really cares. Like no one, if you think about it, bro, all this shit is in our head, bro. Like you ever walked in a room and let's say you feel super uncomfortable. Maybe you're not wearing what you want to wear, or you're wearing your best outfit or whatever. And you're like walking through a room and you feel like everyone's looking at you and you're like feeling judged. And you're like torturing yourself mentally. But realistically, no one comes out and says anything to you. Like,
I mean, even if they do, who cares?
Yeah, but how often does that happen? Like, how often have you really like gone anywhere and a stranger has like ridiculed you?
You know,
that's never happened to me.
I've had that happen.
Really?
Yeah. I wish Emma was here. Oh my god, Emma, dude, she's like my not the table of contents. She's like my what's the thing in the back?
Glossary, summary.
Yeah, no.
Summary.
I think
book?
it is glossary.
Summary.
Yeah. No.
Gloss. Index.
She's
Let's
my
go,
bro. She's my index, bro, because she could just reference so many examples. But yeah, I actually have. I've had a lot of times. But the thing about it is, like, the reality is, and this is the saddest thing, is those people that come at you are usually the people that are the most upset. They're the most in misery.
Hurt people.
Yeah, bro. And so when they see you just being you and being comfortable with just being who you really are, it bothers them because it reminds them that their whole life they've ran away from who they really are. And what they've done is try to put up masks and images and personas that they think the people around them will like and accept, when in reality, all you got to do is be yourself, and the people that fall into place around you are the people that are meant to be around you. So yeah, I have gotten that, but that's usually what it is, man.
I'm talking about like in public, like.
Yeah, I have, dude.
Are you gonna tell the story or no?
No, I'm not.
What?
Oh my god!
You tell me you just went in the public and someone just like ridiculed you or
No. We've been at a couple parties and I've just had some
that's
racism,
crazy.
Dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
That's crazy.
Never about digital products. Hell no. People want to learn how to make money. I love talking to people. But I've had people definitely hate on me because I don't know what it is, bro. But I guess I'm comfortable being myself, and sometimes that might come off as arrogant to some people, but it's not arrogant.
Yeah,
because
people always want to like. They always want to.
They don't want you to be happy,
They want to
bro.
pick at your imperfections because it makes them feel better about being imperfect. And I forgot what law of power it was, but it was like never appear perfect because your enemies will always try to find a chink in your armor.
But I'm not talking about appearing perfect. I'm just talking about enjoying yourself. You're comfortable. You're having a good time, and someone else isn't. So to make themselves comfortable, they want to go for
that's
you.
like the societal thing. Is like this guy can't really be happy. He can't really be successful.
Because
like,
I'm not.
And that's what they always. Yeah. That's why they always even. They like it. Literally was even like showed in mainstream TV where it's like it's always like the super attractive chick, but she's stupid. And I started to. It made me think in real life, all super pretty girls are like ditzy. But no, I've met a lot of beautiful women that are just smart, or attractive dudes that are smart and not bullies and they're nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like we always want to say, oh, this person has something good going on. There's got to be something bad.
You don't have it.
Yeah, so I got to pick it up. But no, there's some people that really have their shit together. Maybe this guy's just super handsome and he's just not a bully and he's nice. Some people deserve everything that they have. So some people, they always want to try to say that you don't deserve something because they don't have it, and it makes them feel better about not having it.
And you know what the best part is when you know that, when you identify that and you're good at spotting it, you kind of just feel bad, man.
Yeah, you're just
like, you're just sitting there like, I know what's happening right now, and it's so gross.
And then when they can't get a response from you or like
it's low vibrational.
A reaction, it's like
it's when you're nice. It's when you're like, damn, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, that's like, again, you have to really feel for those people, because if you're going so far as to try to hurt other people because you're insecure in yourself, You know,
But we
that's
have a
just a
society of
cycle
that.
of just like, it's just like a detrimental cycle. Like
But
for
that's
me,
what social media is, bro. That's
Yeah.
what we live in a
like for
society.
me, I've
like that.
never, bro, like, I'm not gonna say I've never trolled before back in the day or whatever. But like,
Of course you trolled. You went live for trolling. But
the thing is, even with that though, I wasn't even trolling. I was being dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, let's get on live. Let's talk about this shit. But like,
that was funny.
the thing is, like, I don't know, bro. I've been down, I've been up, and I know that being down is no joke. So like, I never try to kick someone while they're down, because people like going through certain things mentally will make you do things you never thought that you would do. So for me, I just try to keep high vibration, high energy, and I just try to enjoy the moment when I'm happy, because happiness is not a destination, bro. It's like a homeostasis you got to try to keep. It's not something you find happiness. Oh yeah, I'm happy all the time. Like, you have to constantly be in the balance of trying to do the things and balance the things that make you happy, you know? And being able to even identify the things that make you happy is, you know, the first step. So I feel like I always say it in every podcast, but like, step one is just being self-aware of yourself, who you are, who you aren't, who you think you are, who you say you are when you know you're not, why you say you're that person, who you want to be. You know, but people, they don't want to go that deep down in their brain because it hurts. You know what I'm saying? It literally hurts to go down and dig up that trauma and dig up the pain and dig up the past. But I'm willing to do that. Luckily, I haven't had a lot of like serious trauma in my life, honestly. But other than that, like, sometimes I have to go down and and peel off that scab. And it may hurt for the next 10 minutes, but if that means it heals over the next, you know, week, then I'm willing to take that momentary like pain for longevity. And some people, they're not willing to take that quick jab if it's going to heal them. You know, they just want to be comfortable and feeling good all the time. They're addicted to that dopamine. That's why people smoke and do drugs, because they want to constantly feel good. But sometimes you don't deserve to feel good. Sometimes you have to go through that pain to see who you're going to become on the opposite side of that. Because the biggest things that have changed me for the better are the shitty things that happened in my life.
Yeah,
Low
man.
key.
I just feel like people need to be like nicer. Like, why can't we help each other? You know what I mean?
That's something. That's why I feel like some
I'm
people,
competing with myself, bro. You know, like, I don't know. Like, I love helping others because I don't look at people as competition. But I feel like we do live in a society where people don't want to help others because they don't want to help someone else get ahead.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, it's like, why am I going to
I've
help
seen it
you?
a lot,
Why am I
man.
going to
It's
help you finish
weird.
the race before me? I don't know. That's something
But
that.
if you're thinking of it like that, then that means you're probably not even gonna finish the race, G, because you're not even.
Yeah, it's
you're
like,
not there.
It's like
if you're talking
this is
like
what it
that.
is. It's like you're scared to help someone else finish the race before you when there's no places. Like, if it's like first place and second place, okay, yeah, why would you want to be in second place and help someone get the first? But imagine a race where if you finish, you win. Doesn't mean if you finish first or last, you still win. So why do you care if someone wins, quote unquote, before you? Again, I think it's a total. That's why I feel like some people are dead ass robots in the world, because there's some people that act so crazy. It's like, bro, this can't be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I've been a jackass in my life. I've been probably mean before. But for the most part, I generally just want to help people. You know what I'm saying? So when you find someone that is legitimately trying to make someone's life worse, I feel like they have to be going through something, some type of something in their life where they think that what they're doing is going to make them feel better or help them ease their pain. You know, and that's why I don't try to make fun of them. I try to just say, like, whatever you're going through, I pray for you, because, again, emotional pain is something different, bro.
It's tough, man.
Emotional pain can't be fixed by money, by this, by that, you know. So having mental homeostasis and actually feeling good with who you are as a human is a huge accomplishment. I feel like people take it for granted because, again, it's not measurable. It's not tangible.
Mental illness is real, bro.
It is real, bro. We're seeing it all the time. People look. I think they said it's like 50,000 suicides in January of this year already, bro. Like, that's why I really push, like, let's get this money, but let's enjoy our lives as well, and let's use this money to help us improve our physical and mental health.
Let's get this money together.
Yeah, together, bro, and just build a community, bro. Like, it's beautiful being able to share it around people that are organically and genuinely happy for you, you know? Because you can tell people they're not happy for you. They stop clapping for you, and they start actually, like, making, like, sarcastic remarks. It's crazy, bro. You can tell. Like, energy is a real thing, and if you have to question, like you said, if you have to question it, then it's probably true, because real, authentic energy is the most easy thing to spot ever. If there's any, like, cloudiness to it, there's got to be some type of ulterior motive, which is why I stick to my 3-4 friends. We do our things, we support each other, and we just keep it pushing, man. You can't help everybody.
Sir Doolingsworth. Dude, we got to get Willenthrope back on. We have to get Lexington.
Lexington.
P Money, man. We got to get another Wi-Fi lit
Yeah, bro. Let's run it,
episode.
man. Let's run it.
You got anything else you want to get off the chest? We've been
Um,
going for almost an hour and 20.
really? That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Now my last thing's a question for you, bro. Like I said, I've really seen you grow and like really exponentially increase your income in the past like under a year. You know, it's been crazy to see. So I just want to ask you, like, do you have any keys for us in what you've learned from, again, looking from the outside of success to actually being in the nitty gritty, spending money on ads every day, enrolling people, going through troubles, chargebacks, this, that? Like, what can you say for people that are kind of scared to take that leap like you did, but seeing where you are now 9 months later? What do you have to say about that?
Well, I won't even say the one. I guess what I have to say, man, is that you just have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I know that sounds simple, but it's the truth. You have to be willing to stay in the game long enough to get good.
Yeah.
And something that I always had, bro, is growing up, whether it was making music, whether it was this podcast, whether it was so many other things, the program, being an entrepreneur, whether I was whatever it is, man. I've done a lot of stuff. Even as a kid, I had YouTube videos making
Yeah.
duct tape wallets. Like I've always loved being creative.
Mm-hmm. Creating something.
Even like in all those times, bro, it always required me to put myself out there, to be judged, to put myself out there and have the ability to be critiqued. And so I kind of got comfortable with being uncomfortable all the time. And then a lot of my personal life contributed to that. And that's it, bro. Just be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's all numbers on a screen. It doesn't matter if you're spending someone's monthly income in a day on ads. It doesn't matter if you're making somebody's yearly income in a day. It doesn't matter if you're broke. It doesn't matter if you're rich. If you really believe that you have something, like not like this might be good to run for a couple months and like get out. Like if you really think you got something to bring to the table, man, and you believe it, that's all that matters. All you need to do is just keep doing that thing. Keep
Until you
doing
get
it.
good.
And no matter how much it sucks, and as one of my best friends, bro, you've seen the suck part.
Yeah.
You gotta stay in the game no matter what's happening. And that's really easier said than done. But, bro, no matter how hard it gets, whether you're down money, whether you don't know what your next step is, whether whatever you think was going to work doesn't work, just let yourself stay in the game. Like you said, man, I feel like I've been inside of an eternity, and it's only been like 9.5 months.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
like 10 months actually now, if that. Yeah, like 9 months and 3 weeks. About to be 10 months. Hasn't even been a year, bro. It hasn't even been a year since my friend passed. It hasn't been a year since I launched the program. It hasn't been a year since I went public about my short-term rental. Hasn't even been a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you know what? This whole 10 months, all I've been doing with every ounce of my time is reading about the subject I'm engaging in, getting better at what I'm doing, improving my systems, getting better, improving my team, hiring, agencies, hiring professionals in specific fields, and getting better. Taking all the money you're making, putting it right back in, taking it, putting it right back in, taking it, putting it right back in. And that's the hardest part, man, because you make a bunch of money and then you're like, well, I'm not at the level I want to be at. This is a good level, but it's not. I know I have more. And the only way is to believe in your idea and put your money back in the fire, bro. And that's the reality of it. So that's really all I can say for someone listening to this. You got to be okay with just being uncomfortable, and you got to be okay with just constantly jumping back in. The top of one mountain really is the bottom of another. And the sad part is you do that shit so many times, you start thinking you're on stair steps.
Yeah,
You're like, am I even climbing mountains? But that's the reality of it. Is there's levels, bro. There's levels.
There's levels, and you get to a level, and it becomes your new plateau, and you just never go
That's
below
the
it.
beautiful, yeah. That's the beautiful part.
And sometimes that plateau for a lot of people, as long as they can get to that plateau of I can cover my bills every month, all it is up from there. But like you said, it's not even about being talented. It's just about being consistent enough that human evolution just allows you to get better, bro. It doesn't matter. You can be the worst pitcher in the world, bro. If someone said, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million if you learn how to throw a strike, bro, you're going to learn. You're going to be on the mound and throw 1,000 pitches a damn day and get better. It's not about being born with something that no one else was. It's about putting in the time that no one else is willing to put in. And like you said, and like I always say, consistency, man. The best thing I ever did was the same thing over and over and over again. That's what you want to quit sometimes, and literally that decision to not quit and keep pushing is literally half the battle.
Bro, I want to take it a step further.
Let's do it.
I want to disconnect money from it. Because if it's all about money for you and you want to get to that level where you're paying your bills and you feel comfortable, and then to be quite honest with you, you will plateau eventually. You will get to a point where you're like, well, I'm good with this. But for me, man, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. And I know when a lot of people say that, it's like, shut the hell up. What do you mean it's not about the money? No, bro, it really is not about the money. It's about seeing how far can I go. I want to be the best at what I'm doing. How far can I go?
And just pushing yourself.
And the nicest part about money is it's a unit, it's a metric. It's something you use to measure value, measure achievement, measure growth. So yeah, that's the good part about it. But if you're doing it for money, man, and it's gonna get boring, number one, you're gonna lose passion, and the most important thing, you're gonna plateau. You're gonna get to a level where you're like, well, I think this is all I got. But the people, bro, that are obsessed with just being the best at what they do, it's exponential.
Yeah, it's exponential.
So just focus on that.
You get to a certain level of money and you're going to get, complacent. But when you're just trying to beat who you were yesterday and just elevate yourself, like it really is, it's a personal game. Like your business is an extension of yourself. As far as you're willing to up yourself, you can take your business as well. If you're lazy, your business is going to be lazy. If you're hardworking, your business is going to, show those results as well. So I think that's facts, man. A lot of the people just... I think if I wanted to end it on anything, bro, it's just about people are looking for all these crazy techniques, hacks, tips, secrets, when really we just laid everything out right here. Half the fucking battle is just not quitting, because you might get goddamn lucky. You might just have a collaboration. You might just whatever. Just being in the game long enough to maybe catch fire is half the battle. People try something for 3 months and then complain, oh, it didn't work. You didn't even give it time to work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, some people have instant success. Sometimes your overnight success over 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The goal is just to succeed. And if you're not willing to give it a year, I used to say 6 months. If you're not willing to give it a year of your life, you don't want it enough. Because to say, hey, I'm going to spend a year of my life so the rest of my life can be great. If you're not willing to do that, you don't want it enough.
And one last thing I want to leave on. Stop spending your money on crap, bro. The biggest thing that holds people back is lifestyle inflation. Mm-hmm. They make more money, so they got to improve all this crap that doesn't matter, and they end up spending more money. Bro, it doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter what people think about your living situation, your car, the way you dress. Who cares? If you got a plan, none of that matters. Quit the lifestyle inflation. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you need to do all this extra stuff. Stay down till you come up. Can't say that enough.
Facts.
Agent Dooley, dude, love you, man. I really appreciate you doing this.
Of course.
I'm hoping this puts us back in gear. I got to start having more, randoms on. I got to start pushing the barrier of the network of a timeshare. But I really want to have a Wi-Fi lid soon. I hope we can get the gang together. Everybody's been busy, but everybody's been successful. But, dude, you have been a gem in so many ways to me other than this episode. And I can't thank you enough, man. So before we get out of here, if you want to leave the people on a note, if you want to touch them in a certain way that, makes them say, you know what, I can do this.
I'm just going to leave them with what I said today, what I tweeted today. If you quit, you a bitch. So let's keep grinding, stay profitable, and we'll see you guys next time.
Stay profitable. Well, and just like every other time, my name's Charbel Milan. We are back in this bitch 2022.
Let's get it.
Thank you so much.